58,000 babies died in India last year. And this is explained by the online newspaper, the New York Times. 5 years ago, the Indian doctors did not see these kind of events. And but now, they think time has changed. Almost 100% babies delivered to them in India have multi-drug resistant infections. And in fact, the same bacteria have been spotted in Japan, in United States, in Oman, and in France. Imagine if it happened here in Indonesia. Imagine if the bacterial resistance happened to you and happened to your loved ones. Then what would you do? Your efforts and our efforts would be in vain, I guess. Antibiotics are actually a very powerful and wonderful medication in history. However, they are now becoming more and more resistant every day, every single day in our life. Here, I'm neither an expert, and I'm not a medical student, and this is not a lecture. But as this is a significant issue that has great impact in our lives, I cannot be silent. Therefore, urgent actions are needed. Now, allow me to share a brief explanation of bacterial resistance against antibiotics, and in the end, I'll be persuading you to take serious actions against this. First, let me begin with the causes of bacterial resistance. As we know that bacteria is in our body and outside of our body, it's in our hair, and everywhere we go we see bacteria. But according to because of their resistance, there are two main factors according to the State of World Antibiotics 2015 by CDDEP. The first one is the improper use of antibiotics, like not finishing antibiotics prescribed, and then keeping the unfinished antibiotics for later use, and using other people's antibiotics. And the last one, using for viral disease like cold, flu, common sore throats, and common coughs. And one more thing that is doesn't make sense is that the owners of farm animals also use antibiotics in their animals' drink and in their animals' feed to promote their animals' growth. Can you believe that? Okay, and these imprudent uses have led to overuse of antibiotics. The CDDEP issued a chart of annual growth rate of the antibiotic consumptions across nations, and it shows that India, followed by China, is the most consumptive antibiotics, as you can see from the chart. China is the first one to use the antibiotics for livestock, and followed by United States and other countries. What about Indonesia? I've been searching from the internet, and I've been asking people who are very concerned with antibiotic resistance, and they have the same opinion that Indonesia has no complete data about the consumptions in Indonesia. However, on August 2015, a few months ago, on the opening seminar of antibiotic resistant preventions for the human rights, for the human life, our former health minister, Madam Napsia Mboy, estimated that 27 Indonesian doctors prudently prescribe antibiotics with proper use. Only 27. As you can see from the chart, the rest of the doctors with higher and sophisticated degrees, they tend to prescribe their patients unwisely. They tend to prescribe antibiotics to their patients unwisely. Moreover, Dr. Paraton SPOG, the Chief Committee of Antibacterial Preventions in Sinar Harapan October last year, states that 50% to 80% hospitals have been using antibiotic overly. And he also mentions that 40% to 60% surveyed hospitals have antibiotic resistance. Unfortunately, he did not mention the names of the hospitals. And actually, Indonesian Health Ministry research. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm aware that we are no medical experts here, but as we are in this room, I'm sure all of us are consisting of smart lecturers and smart students too. And what should we do about this? We cannot be silent, right? Because what is happening in India must be happening in Indonesia. Why? Because of the uncontrolled use of antibiotics we have here. However, I implore 3 simple actions for us to do. The first one, and simple one, the basic one, is practice good hygiene. Wash our hands, use a mask if you get cough. And the second, if you have to see a doctor and your doctor prescribes you with antibiotics, please ask your doctor, what causes my disease? Is it bacterial disease or virus disease? Remember, antibiotics only works for bacteria. And the third one, finish your prescribed antibiotic even if you feel better. And to conclude, bacterial resistance, which is happening for years and has been causing a global outbreak, actually the happening is based on our 2 ignorance. The first one, improper use, and the second one, the overuse. So that's why the action I just mentioned are very urgent to take. Please be aware of them before the post-antibiotic era overpowers us like what happens in India. Life is too precious to let go to bacterial resistance. Thank you.